Hey, what's up there, folks? Welcome to another Train Sim Classic video. This is the first thing that I've taken a look at after the big Train Sim core patch. Hopefully, a lot of you have figured some things out, because I hope you do, because you're gonna want this enhancement pack. This is very, very spicy. Hot tamale. It's a good pack. So this is built off of the Repo E60 pack that is on the Steam store. You'll need that and that alone for this pack to work and to use as intended. And that's a pretty nice pack as is. The locomotive itself is it's got some weird things. There's supposed to be an enhancement pack for that at some point from a lot of the same people that worked on this pack. But this is the Amfleet 1 enhancement pack. And these coaches, the Amfleets, the barrels, the torpedoes, whatever, they came with Repo's E60 pack, which you can get off the Steam store. I think it's $20 as usual, which again is a decent pack. But the coaches were really, really nice, and that's what they built off of here. They took a nice foundation and just built like 20 levels on top of it, which is a very, very nice thing to do with good equipment to begin with. Which is usually very necessary to make a decent mod, is to have some decent stuff to begin with. So we got these new awesome Amfleets, or the ones anyway, from Repo, and that's what this is built off of, and they look incredible, and they look much more so now, and you can run them with just about anything, guys. We're talking to P40, P42, hell, GG1, F40, E60, E8, the list goes on and on and on. The Pooch. I'm sure there's a million things I'm not thinking of, but yeah, you can run them a lot of stuff, a lot of ways, in quite a few places. My God, I just noticed the ACS 64 number is the mark of the devil, 666. It's evil. It's an evil locomotive up there. All right, anyway, so this pack is by Matt J, CTSL Railfan, Irjan, Knifeway Fu, and Trinincrat, and you're gonna get a just absolute shitload of new paints, covering, of course, 50 years of Amtrak history. New lighting, different body equipment, decals, stickers, all kinds of crap there. New audio, which you might have heard in the opening 30 seconds or so, which sounds very nice. I can't wait to hop back in that. And then, of course, I think I said new decals, parts, rail unit number per, so like, disabled stickers, Wi-Fi equipment, all kinds of shit. Really cool stuff. And new physics. So they've tweaked the physics a bit so they feel a bit heavy. And again, you're going to need the Repo E60 pack for this to work. I will link it down below where you can go and get this thing. It is super simple to install. You literally drag an asset folder into your Railworks installation, run the batch file, and you're done. That's it. All right, let's start taking a look at these things. Alrighty, guys, so this is roughly the slew of what you're going to get. Each piece you see here is enhanced in this pack and new. Hell, a lot of it's 100% brand new. And of course, these need no introduction, but just for those, as usual, who may not be aware, small little nugget of Wikipedia for you. They are the Amfleets, which are single-level intercity Amtrak passenger coaches. They're built by the long-standing and well-renowned Bud Company of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The design of these was based off of these old rust buckets, and as crappy as they were, I liked them a lot. The Metro liners, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know, they kind of built these off of the Metro liner, same kind of body, stainless steel car body, and all that. And the Metro liners were, of course, electric multiple units, and they were like, they paved the way for fast intercity service up in the Northeast, and they were cool, but they were massive heaps of steaming, fly-ridden poo-poo, by the time they needed to get rid of them. So they were like, hell, we'll just make some coaches out of a bunch of them, and that they did, including some control cars. So that's neat as well. So these are the Amfleet 1s. They were the first order to Amtrak of 492, and they were built between 1975 and 1977. They have received, obviously, numerous paints, liveries, overhauls, interior overhauls, equipment upgrades, and all that good stuff. And they were basically for short distance, regional. They are still, of course, in service to this very day. And of course, their counterpart, the newer or younger sibling, the Amfleet 2, which are obviously newer. But they had about 84 seats on average, the full coaches. Of course, that depended on, cafe car, business class, all that fun stuff. So they weren't 84, I think, was the max, just a bog standard coach would have had. But all right, let's start looking at each individual one here in all their glory. All right, first up is probably one of my favorite right off the bat, the Am Dinette, or the Amtrak Dinette. Phase 1B. This has got the cool old logo that I liked. Phase 1, the kind of, it's almost like a backwards arrow if you think about it, but they've touched a lot of things up. Not only are the colors extremely appropriate, they've done some weathering thereabouts. It just looks very, very crisp and fresh compared to what you get by default out of the Repo E60 pack. And we'll go ahead and go on to the next. This is the Am Dinette Phase 2. So they, of course, have... I like Phase 2 as well. I like the two big chunky stripes. You've got the nice apparent weathering as well. And, of course, they did away with the stripes. Well, the arrow. I mean, not the stripes. Here we're going to start with the business class. So this is the business class Phase 4 Bravo, or 4B. Of course, with applicable stickers and all kinds of extra things you can do to these, which we will get to. I'll show you how to do it in the editor if you're interested in that once we get done with the overall look here. This, of course, is one of the new bays right here. This is the business class Phase 5 with the cool little swirly doodads. It's kind of got like a 1960s kind of shape, the way furniture looked and stuff. I kind of like this. It's refreshed. It's something different. I parked these a little too close, but this is the Cafe, or Am Cafe. This is Phase 1B. So it's got the old school chunky stripes, which I very much like, and the bass-backwards arrow. And this, of course, is the Am Cafe, or Amtrak Cafe Car Phase 2, where they just went to the chunky stripes and no arrow. We have this Phase 3 Cafe Car, of course, with the newer 3-stripe. This is the Phase 4 Cafe Car, which you can see the very cool Northeast Direct Service logo in the middle there, which you can change at a whim if you would very much like, as well as the placard up there, which is very cool, and little stickers as well, which you can change on these. But this is a unique one. I kind of like these. These were like right before they kind of nailed down the shade of blue that they wanted. It was almost like a blurple. It's like a blueberry instead of the dark navy. And then, of course, they went to the Phase 4 Bravo, or 4B, which, again, this is a cafe car. They, of course, changed and freshened up the logo a bit. You've got some different decals on there as well. And then the regional cafe Phase 5 with the funky, fun shapes. This is the Am Club, or Club Cars. This was Phase 1B, or Bravo. Here's the Club Car Club. Forgot the L. This is Phase 2, so this is when they did away with the arrow. And this right here is something that I appreciate. I knew, as soon as I saw this pack was available, the folks that worked on this thing want stuff to be right. These are obviously rail fans, enjoy all things trains, and obviously Northeast Corridor and Northeast area, not just Northeast Corridor. But the thing that I appreciate about this is the white on the background there behind the arrow. It's not just white. It's almost like a cream, like it's just been weathered over time. It's just not bright, blind your eyes white. And this, of course, is the regular coach. And this is Phase 1 Bravo with the arrow. Here we have the coach. I like how they called him Am Coach as well. And this is Phase 2, so sans arrow. and a little bit different. And here we have Phase 3. So this, of course, is the Amtrak coach. Phase 3, probably one of my favorite liveries. Between the 2 and the 3, I don't know which I like better. I tend to like the 2 more. Just the contrast between the 3 colors, of course, red, white, and blue, America. They just look really good, especially all across encompassing the entire window. It just kind of changes the overall look of the car. So Phase 3 is really nice. And we're starting to get to the newer era. This, of course, is Phase 4. And when they went a little bit darker away from the blurple and more of a darker blue, this, of course, is Phase 4B. And lastly, we have got Phase 5. So this is Coach Phase 5 with the fun, funky shapes. Okie dokie, so we are now within the editor, and to change some of the placards, logos, decals, all that good stuff, you will need to go within the editor upon placing your consist down. But it's very simple, and the manual, or PDF, they have included goes over this into great detail. Like I always say, if I can understand it, I would imagine just about anybody can, because I'm not the most astute within the editor in Train Sim, but it's fairly simple to get done. So, for example, one of the things you can do here is change the logo on the cars here. So these are the cafe cars, so it's car specific. So with the cafe car, of course, right now I've got the Northeast Direct logo on there. I don't think it'll show up by default. Unless it's like a randomization type thing. So what you're going to want to do to change logos on the cafe car, for example, I'm going to double click it, left click on the mouse, double left click. Try that again. It should go red for a moment. You'll see a fly out on the right. And this is what you got. So it's going to start with the 5-digit number, which is the car number, of course, the unit number. And that's it. So you see the semicolon T equals 2, semicolon L equals 2. It seems like some kind of crazy math. I know. I get it. It's crazy. But once you do it a couple of times, it's fairly simple. And there's been a lot of stuff like this in Train Sim within, modding and even payware over the years recently where you can do stuff like this, which is very cool. So I have got those options currently in there. So let's see. Each letter is going to specify what you do. So T will change the service placards. So we'll scooch on down here. This is your service placard. So it's currently set to Northeast Direct Service. So whenever you mess with the T, it'll change that. So we'll just go ahead and get rid of that. I'll delete it and show you what's going on here. I'm going to click on it. Backspace, just delete it. The number or the pound sign, I don't think you need. It's just kind of like a buffer. But we're going to leave it in and see if that logo there should disappear. There we go. Now it is blank. So you want to add it back. So we've got the L2. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that as well. So that is the service in the middle there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that as well. Just clean slate here. Bam. It's gone. Straight back to standard Amtrak there. So we'll go back to the placard or the information, the passenger information here. So this is T. T denotes the service placard. So you've got Empire Service, Northeast Direct, and Regional. So what you're going to do is, hope you can see the fly out there to the right. You're going to want to put in a semicolon. That's a semicolon, right? Jesus. Put a uppercase T, hit the equal sign, and then by default, it won't be anything. It'll just be standard Amtrak. So you hit T equals, and then you're going to have a choice of 0 through 3. So we'll do 1. I'm going to hit enter. Now it says Amtrak Empire Service. How cool is that? Easy to do. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We'll do 2. That's your Northeast Direct. And 3 should be Regional. There you go. It's that friggin' simple. It's awesome. And then on the side here, if you want to change this, this one is, I'm trying to think, which one's this? I have the manual that I could just open up, but I'm trying to remember. It's just logo, so it's L. I'm pretty sure it's L. So that's your logo. So if you want to leave the placard on and you want to add the placard, logo, and stickers, you can add as many as you like. You don't have to do one or the other. So I'm going to leave that in. I'm going to leave the T equals 3 in. Another semicolon. And we're going to do uppercase L equals. And let's see. Which ones can you do? I think it's... let's see. You can do phase 3 and 4 on the cafe car, of course. And I think it's just no logo and Northeast Direct, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll try 0. See what 0 does. Okay, that's nothing. Backspace, we'll put 1 in. Okay, so that's blank. 1 is blank. Backspace 2, that's Northeast Direct. And 3, is there a 3? It's just blank again. Okay, so yeah, you can put Northeast Direct on there. Let's see. What am I forgetting? All right, I had to have a think and actually look at the manual. That's what it's there for, guys. I know it's hard to read sometimes, but the manual's there for a reason. And with this really in-depth stuff, you know, it just helps instead of screaming at the developer, "Oh, this won't work," or blah blah blah. Read the manual. 9 times out of 10, it'll have all your bases covered. So this is a standard coach car, obviously the new one, the 5. What you can do with these is add stickers. So you can see on there right now, there is a disabled or handicap sticker, as we call here in the States. So that is currently set at T3, I think. No, that's back on the other car. I'm a dingus. Let me double click on that, bring the fly out. There we go. So S is going to be your sticker. I'm going to get rid of that T business there. Put my semicolon back in. So, there you go. 0, and it's gone. Put the 1 back in, and it's back. That's simple. Of course, you can do the placard on everything that has a placard, which I think is every coach in the pack, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so this one's really neat. This is the Phase 4B Cafe car. Definitely one of the newer ones. What you can do with this is add Wi-Fi equipment, which is pretty neat. I've already got it set on here, which of course is this stuff right here. Little aerials for Wi-Fi. And I'm going to double click it as usual, hit the fly out over here, and I've got that already set up. So the W obviously stands for Wi-Fi. So it's pretty clever how they did it. L logo, S sticker, W Wi-Fi. And I currently have it set to 1. 1 is basically on, I guess. So if we get rid of that, go to 0, bam, it's gone. Put it back to 1, shazam. And that's not everything, guys. It's just a small taste. But we'll look at the manual real quick and show you what you can do here. Alrighty, this is your manual. I like how they've got the old school Bud logo at the top. Obviously, Amfleet 1 Enhancement Pack. Got a bit about the Bud company. Tells you how to install it. Fairly simple. Tells you how to grab it out of the editor. Again, very straightforward. This is all the witchcraft that tells you how to change logos, stickers, all that good stuff, and how to place it in there. But once you do it a couple of times, it's like riding a bike or tying your shoe. It's fairly simple. It shows you all the different logos you can place on each kind of car, all the different phases and variants. And then there's this kind of stuff, which I'll probably not mess with, but for the more astute and technical folks out there, you can mess with certain consist messages, you know, certain types of braking pressure. You can mess with the doors. You can have the trap doors, the lower ones for the lower level platforms, passenger platforms, if you will. Different kind of lights between Amfleet, Superliner. You know, different kind of messages for that as well, and license, credit, and thanks, and all that good stuff. It's there for a reason, guys. Read the manual. Alright guys, we're gonna listen and feel these things now. So not only is it a massive pack with all kinds of options as far as you know, logos, liveries, stickers, you name it, all kinds of crap. So there's new sounds, new physics, and all that. And we, of course, are using the extremely glorious UTS Creations F40 Enhancement Pack, which is still very much alive. They've updated the bananas out of this thing. Made a banana split. Yeah, that was a stupid joke. But yeah, they've updated the crap out of it. Not even that. They've updated it so recent as to where it should now work with the latest Train Sim Core update, because that's the pack that I have currently installed. I asked the fellas, they said, yep, I installed it. I've had no problems yet. So I've got kind of a fakey regional service here set up with an F40, and we're just going to see what these things sound like. So let's hop on the back here. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. There's your brake sounds. You can hear the HVAC running. Let's go ahead and give it a notch. Oh, listen to that. The slack. Very freaking nice. Yes, sir. Yeah, a little bit of scraping and squealing. We're going to go straight to notch 4. We're probably dragging a little bit. That's all right. I mean, were it in real life, it's obviously not. All right. Brakes will come off eventually. Listen to that. Oh, that joint sound. Okay. All right. And I hear a flat spot as well. Dude, that shit sounds awesome. Notch 8. Here we go. It's got the marker lights on, of course, which look very nice. So we got a nice sweeping curve up here. We're just going to listen to this thing. Oh, yeah. Full high-speed Chad mode engaged. Here we go. Man. Those sound really good. All right, let's test the physics out a bit. So we'll go ahead, throw some air on it. God, in the oh mama, the UTS F40 just pairs perfectly with this. Like a nice, crisp beer and a fat ass steak. They just pair with one another perfectly. The braking seems pretty on point. It's not over the top. It's not taking too long. And yes, I don't have head-end power on just because I don't want to hear it screaming the whole time. I'm very much aware in case some of you guys caught that. Alright, let's dump it. And by dump it, I mean releasing it. Because I say dump as in release, not emergency. Alright, 1 notch. Look at that nice creep. Fairly level. This 1 notch. Just a smooth inching forward. Notch 2. Yeah, that's nice. This is top tier, guys. I mean, the physics like this with these sounds and the way these things look, this whole kit right now, mega chungus awesome. Very much. Notch 3. Quattro. Let's go inside. Is that new? I don't remember. Oh! I don't remember being able to look out the back like that. I don't know if that's something with... Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if that's a bug or what. Very chunky inside. Sounds nice. I've got big over-ear bassy headphones on. Maybe it's just a bit too thumpy for my personal taste. But it sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty darn good. But that is your Amfleets 1 enhancement pack, guys. Go and grab this piece of virtual beauty now. It is currently available. Of course, I'll link it down below where you can go and find this sucker and try it out for yourself. Hopefully you can get it working with all the crap that's gone on with TS over the last few days. But that is it. As always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you found it somewhat informative, and I'll catch you next time. See you guys.